I love a late night snack, and these days you can find street food on some of the menus of the best restaurants out there, just like what we're going to be making today. This is from June's restaurant all the way from Dubai. Kelvin, what's this one? Yummo.
So this is lamb keema. This is something we used to grab after service or just a late night run with my wife for a quick snack.
Oh,
so we're going to start by making our lamb keema.
Okay. So we've got lamb mince here. Does it have to be quite fatty?
Generally, you want something fattier because there's something to sop up that grease late at night. Yeah, and it's always delicious.
I like the sound of that. So you start with some ghee.
Yeah, so we're going to throw some ghee in, and then we'll just plop our mince in to get that cooking. While that's searing, I'm going to have you chop up our tomatoes, and I'll cut our onion for us.
How would you like the tomatoes cut?
Just small dice would be great.
Small dice, absolutely. So you've planted yourself in Dubai at the moment. What's the food scene like in Dubai?
I think that the Dubai food scene is the fastest growing hotspot for the best restaurants in the world.
Yes, you hear a lot of very famous restaurants opening their second restaurants, for example, in Dubai, because it's the place to be. Oh, and obviously the best restaurant in Dubai is June's.
One of.
One of the many. So how's that lamb looking now?
I think it's ready to go. I'm gonna just grab a strainer. We'll strain that out, and then we're gonna start building our flavors now.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we'll just grab the strainer here.
I'll bring this over.
Thank you. And we'll just pour that straight in.
That's actually a really good tip. You can also do this when you're making bolognese or any of those minced meat sauces, just so it's not swimming in a lot of fat, draining it and be leaner. Yeah, very nice.
So it still has a lot of flavor, so I'm not gonna throw this away, but I'm gonna let this drain.
Yep.
I'm gonna take a couple tablespoons of this fat. We're gonna put it back in the pan, and now we're gonna toast our spices up. Okay, so first we're gonna add our turmeric. Okay. We'll add our chili powder.
Yep, and all ground spices for this recipe.
Yes. And then we'll add some of our garam masala. Feel free to use whatever you have.
Okay.
Okay, we're just gonna let that cook until this rawness of the spices comes out. Okay, and then we'll add our onions.
Onions can go in.
Yep.
Stick that in.
Perfect. Our tomatoes. And a little bit of sliced garlic that we got.
Okay.
And we'll sweat that out nicely. Okay.
And just by adding those tomatoes, it's going to ensure that those spices don't burn either.
You want to cook that moisture into the spices so they don't burn.
Lovely.
Okay, and we'll just let that sweat for a couple of minutes, and we'll add our lamb back into the stock pot. Okay, so now that everything is sweated out nicely, you can smell it, you can tell the spices have been cooked out. Let's add the lamb back in.
Okay.
Okay, and we'll give that a quick stir. And then I'm just gonna grab some chicken stock, and we'll add that in.
So you're adding quite a substantial amount of stock.
Yeah, it looks quite a bit amounts, but what we're gonna do is, as the meat cooks, we want that sauce to reduce so that it gets that nice, luscious, velvety kind of sauce vibe to it. Okay, so now that everything is in, we're gonna cook it for about 30-40 minutes so that the sauce reduces, and we'll be ready to move on.
Sounds good. It's all coming together. The roti is cooked. Keema, shall we have a look?
Let's take a peek.
It smells divine.
So it's been nicely reduced.
Yes.
And we got it to that almost pasta sauce-like consistency.
Yep.
Okay, so now we're ready to add our peas. Okay, I'm gonna toss our peas in and stir that in. While I'm doing that, do you wanna make our garnish?
Yes, so we've just been slicing some red onion here, just into little ringlets. So this is to serve on the side as a garnish.
Yeah, so it's what you find on most street foods or these little diners in India. It's kind of like their quick pickle of sorts.
Love
just
it.
to add a little bit of spice, a little bit of acidity to the dish as a garnish. So you're just gonna toss that with a little bit of lime juice and sprinkle on a little bit of masala on top and just give it a quick toss.
All right, good. Squeeze a juicy lime. And some garam masala, just a small pinch, is it?
That's it, yeah.
Any salt required here?
So generally, they don't season those too heavily because of the gravies that are so full of flavor.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just gonna finish mine with just a touch of butter, just to give it a little bit of decadence.
Ooh,
Okay,
very nice.
I'm gonna turn off the heat. You're ready to go?
I'm ready.
Okay, we'll throw in about a tablespoon of butter. Give that a quick toss, and then a fresh squirt of lime,
Okay.
and we're ready to serve.
So you're using butter here as opposed to ghee. So we started off with ghee, but finished off with some butter.
Yeah, so generally ghee, because you've removed all the milk solids from it, it won't burn as caramelized as easy. Now that we're finishing it and we want that just deliciousness, we want to use whole butter for this.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so let's plate that up.
Okay.
So we'll fill a nice bowl full of this beautiful lamb keema. You also have some coriander there if you want to just give that a quick chop and garnish our keema. And I will grab our roti.
Okay.
So with the keema, you can serve it with the roti, you can serve it with naan, you can serve it with bread, you can serve it with rice, whatever you got and whatever you like.
Yeah, I like sort of serving it with the roti. It still keeps that theme of a street food where you just want to mop it up with some bread.
There's something that's so delicious and when you're eating with your hands, it just tastes better.
It does, it really does. And I really love the addition of those onions. It just makes sense with the pepperiness of them, the lime, it's gonna cut through the fattiness of the lamb.
It's the perfect side dishing accompaniment to this sort of dish. We just give it a quick squeeze of fresh lime and we're ready to taste.
Let's dig in. A bit of roti for you.
Yes, please.
There we go. And no cutlery.
No, never, never, never.
Just dig in. Ooh. It's just like the best combo. Flaky roti with decadent, rich lamb stew like this. It's just so good. Late night snack, this is what I crave. So good.
Enjoy.